Hello and welcome to this Adeptus Mechanicus detachment review, where today we're going to be looking at the Explorator Maniple. I think that's how you say it.
Yes, that is the Explorator Maniple.
Explorator Maniple.
Explorator.
That's
Maniple.
probably how we say it better.
Yeah.
So today we're going to be looking at the Detachment Rule, the Enhancements, the Stratagems, and some key units for the detachment. So first of all, we need to obviously thank Games Workshop for giving us access to this codex so we can give you guys a review of it and let you know all the wonderfulness inside this detachment. So Jake, what is the Detachment Rule?
So the Detachment Rule is acquisition at any cost.
Okay.
So this is, it's pretty simple. So at the start of your command phase, you select an objective marker. And until the start of your next command phase, while an Adeptus Mechanicus unit is on the objective, or you're targeting an enemy unit on that objective, you can reroll ones to wound.
Okay.
And this is also considered your acquisition objective.
Right.
And the reason that's quite important to note is because as you notice, as we go through the enhancements, the stratagems, this objective is quite important.
Right, sure.
So cool things about this. First thing, it's not like one of those, you pick it at the start of the battle and then it's that for the rest of the game. You can actually change this per command phase.
Oh, nice.
Which I really like. I don't like the sort of, the rules we've seen like that because it's easy to play around.
That's what I was kind of thinking when you said that. I was like, oh, so you're going to be stuck to one objective.
Yeah.
But okay, if you can change it, that's good.
But the other cool thing about this as well is the fact that it's if your unit's on it or if an enemy unit's on it. So if you wanted to, maybe turn one, you could pick your home field because you can have a lot of units of your own touching it. And then maybe as the game goes on and you know that, there's maybe your units may not be on those objectives, but there's lots of enemy units. You're getting lots of bonuses, right? Sure. So I really like this detachment.
Nice.
Rule. The other thing I will say about this detachment, it's actually my favourite detachment in the whole book.
Okay.
So
interesting.
This is the one that I would see myself playing and definitely will be playing.
Cool. Right, well, I'm excited to obviously delve into it. So first of all, let's look at the enhancements.
But before we continue, I'd like to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, The Outpost. If you're looking for great deals on your miniatures, paints and gaming supplies, we've got you covered. Their wide variety of exceptional service makes them the go-to destination for all hobby needs. So don't wait, check out The Outpost today. Link in the description below.
Okay, Jake, so what is the first enhancement?
So the first enhancement is Magos. So again, like previous detachments, all of these can only be taken on tech priests.
Okay.
So to save myself repeating it, all of these enhancements on tech priest. So what a tech priest is a tech priest dominus, tech priest manipulus, or a tech priest engine seer.
Sure.
Okay. The first one is Magos. So at the end of your command phase, if the bearer is within range of your acquisition objective marker, you roll a dice, and on a 4+ you get a command point.
Perfect.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. It means if you're playing tactical, you may not have to sacrifice a card to get your CP.
Yeah.
The other thing as well is that with the theme of the AdMech detachments, as we've seen as we've gone through these reviews, some of these, either you've got lots of really good stratagems that you want to be spending your command points on, or good stratagems that cost a lot of CP.
Yep.
So the fact that you can potentially get an extra one, I think you'll see this in every list.
Yeah, 100%.
As well as the next enhancement, the generator.
The generator.
Genitor.
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 Yeah.
Genitor.
Generator sounds
It's basically well, it's very AdMech.
Generator. Basically, you're just a battery.
Yeah. Well, it pretty much is. So while the bearer is leading a unit that is within range of the acquisition objective marker, that unit has a 4+ invulnerable save.
I like this a lot.
Really, really good. So again, I'd probably put this on a tech priest dominus, put this in a big unit of breaches, and then you've got a 4+ invulnerable save, 5+ feel no pain unit.
Yeah.
While they're on the objective. Now, again, like we've said, you can change the objective. So if you're, needing to play a bit more aggressively with the unit, you can pick maybe the center, the center of the battlefield. If you want to play a bit more defensively, you can pick your own. So yeah, it's just fantastic.
Nice.
Another one that's really good, Logis.
Logis. Yeah.
While the bearer is leading a unit, each time a model in that unit makes an attack that targets a unit within range of your acquisition objective marker, you get +1 hit. So this is the first instance we've seen of it isn't if you're on the objective.
It's if your opponent's
It's your opponent's on the objective. But again, super good.
Yeah, +1 to hit is fantastic, right? So,
yeah, for an army that mostly hits on 4s,
yeah,
having this is really great. And then finally, we've got the Artisan.
Yeah.
This is probably the worst one out of them, but still could be quite good. So while the bearer is leading a unit that is within range of your acquisition objective marker, once per phase, you can change the result of one hit, wound, or save roll to a 6. Instances, I'd find this quite useful. Dev wounds. You've got 2 characters with dev wound guns.
Yep.
That could be quite good if you need to maybe get a guaranteed wound and you don't want to risk anything, but you can just roll the wound.
Yeah.
Or maybe a save for a clutch, character.
Yeah, of course.
But overall, if you can only have 3 enhancements in your army, and I think the first 3 are amazing.
I agree. I think the first 3, you're genuinely going to be looking at trying to put these in your list every single time.
Because if we look at it, you could have a Tech Priest Dominus with 1 unit of breaches, or destroyers, or whatever, and he's giving them Feel No Pain and the 4+ invul. And then you've got the Manipulus with another unit who he's giving the +1 to hit, because he gives them a once per battle 4+ invul anyway. So yeah, and then just having the CP one you can give to maybe an engine sit that's going to chill at the back.
Yeah. Solid.
So yeah, but you just have to bear in mind, because you're having to pick this acquisition objective, you've got to be very careful about, you know, like where all these characters are, because all these enhancements only work while either you're in range of that objective or if you're targeting you not.
Yeah, you're gonna have to look at your positioning quite a lot on this, because you don't want to be like, well, I just want to hurt this objective, but then you could lose the 4+ invulnerable save on the objective which you're holding. So
it's very board state reliant, I think. And that's why I really like how you can change them at the start of each command phase.
But I think the fact that you can change the acquisition point is amazing. It's actually a really fun play style by the sounds of it.
Yeah, it's cool. It's definitely the more diverse one that we've seen from the Adeptus Mechanicus Codex. This was one that when I sort of looked at it, it just leapt out at me. The ability to have reroll 1s is super good. The enhancements look great. I think the main thing now we need to look at is the stratagems. Like the rest of them, I think this is where the book shines quite heavily.
Okay, all right. Well, obviously we'll go into stratagems next then.
Let's take a moment to appreciate Colourforge, our fantastic sponsor. Their range of spray paints has become our go-to for making our miniatures come to life quickly and efficiently. The quality and variety of colours they offer are truly unmatched, providing a smooth application for stunning effects every time. Check out Colourforge for your next hobby project.
Okay, dude, so what's the first one?
So we've got Caded Acquisition, I believe it's called. Catched Acquisition.
Catched Acquisition.
So yeah, so this is really good. So start of any phase, 1 Adeptus Mechanicus unit from your army that was just destroyed while it was within range of an objective marker you controlled, you can use this stratagem on that unit even though if it was destroyed. That objective marker remains under your control if you have no models within range of it until your opponent controls at the start of any turn.
So you get sticky objectives?
Yeah, providing one of your units died.
Okay, so similar to World Eaters, where you can basically, one of your unit dies and you go, cool, well, I've still got it.
But this is really good because you can use this on, you know, let's say you can, you know, get a unit out there, scout, and then they can't just indirect you off an objective because then you will still hold it. I really, really like this.
Maybe on that, oh no, the lone op character wouldn't work there, sorry.
No.
I was thinking maybe put the lone op character on there, but then he's not going to get indirected because he's lone op.
But if he dies still, it's, you know, still a valid point. But I definitely think that for that, it's just really nice. You could put like a mini unit of Cerberus Raiders on, they're very quick, and if they get killed off of it with shooting, they die, you have the objective. There's no way your opponent can then get on that objective unless they use stratagems or enhancements or something. So yeah, I think it's really good, and for 1 CP, can't go too wrong.
100%.
And also the other thing I will note is that you've got a lot of damage from your acquisition, objective marker, target. You've also got it from your enhancements, and then a lot of inbuilt stuff that Adeptus Mechanicus has anyway. So having a bit more utility, seeing that isn't actually like that bad.
Sure.
So the next stratagem is Auto Oracular Retrieval. So this is 2 CP. Your shooting phase, 1 Adeptus Mechanicus unit from your army that has just disembarked from transport. Until the end of that phase, each time a model in your unit makes a ranged attack that targets an enemy unit within range of your acquisition objective marker, you get +1 to wound. So it's such a shame that there's the caveat of having to get out of a transport, and it's 2 CP. So it's a lot of points. There's not a lot of units that benefit from this. Main thing I'm looking at is those Corpus Scarpia Electro Priests with their strength 5 sustained guns. You know, but sadly, I don't think this makes the cut. It's not the best. Something I will also say about the acquisition maniple is that we've looked at the Scutari Hunters cohort and we've looked at the Data Plasm cohort. And this is one of the other detachments that it doesn't matter who you are. And I think that's also why I really like it, because you're not limited by who you're using.
It's not a specific unit type which you're going to be building into. It's just got a few benefits to it.
Yeah, exactly that. But with that in mind, we've got priority reclamation. So fight phase just before an Adeptus Mechanicus unit makes a consolidation move. That Adeptus Mechanicus unit, until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes a consolidation move, it can move up to 6 inches instead of 3, providing it ends that consolidation move within range of your acquisition objective marker.
Okay, so you can push towards the objective marker
Yeah.
that you're trying to hold, maybe get more things onto the objective.
Yeah.
Can come in clutch.
I think it's actually a really good strat. So, you know, to be able to consolidate 6, you know, it may be the case of you didn't get the exact advance roll you needed to get on an objective, and it could be a tempting target, it could be a secure no man's land, it could just be to swing primary, to swing some OC.
It also means that your opponent can't really shield out the objective while still holding it.
Yeah.
So they can't put a move block in front of the objective because no matter what, you're going to be getting onto it.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah, really, really good.
So I do like this actually as a strat, and it's only 1 CP, so you can't go wrong.
Nice.
Next, we've got Incense Exhausts.
Right,
Incense
okay, yeah.
exhaust?
What's the incense? Lavender?
I don't know. That's what it says, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that? Yeah.
It does, it does.
I don't know. Maybe
I just wondered what incense you use.
you know, like Games Workshop released those like scented candles. That's what I imagine.
That's
They just light one of those.
That's heresy. What they're doing is Slanish candle going out the thing.
Just here we go. Ooh, lovely.
Traitor AdMech here.
lovely bit of dark mech. So this is when your opponent's shooting phase just after an enemy unit has been selected. One Adeptus Mechanicus infantry unit from your army that was selected as the target of 1 or more attacks, and 1 friendly Adeptus Mechanicus smoke unit within 6.
Okay.
Until the end of the phase, you get the benefit of covering stealth.
Okay, so you can basically give yourself smoke to another unit.
Yeah,
So-
I think it's good. It's a
decent.
shame that you don't get the unit the unit using the smoke doesn't also get the benefit.
Yeah.
But again, that's really good to protect your very valuable units like your breaches.
Yeah, because it could help swing certain things, make your opponent think twice. But do you know what has smoke? So obviously, I'm guessing.
So the Onager does, depending on what upgrade you give it. The Doom Strider does, and
Yeah.
that is actually it.
That's it, right? Okay, so basically, you're gonna take these if you want to be using that strat.
Yeah.
Sure. Cool. What's the next one?
So next we've got Info Slave Skull.
Yep.
So this one again is quite good, and this is probably one of the most useful stratagems in the whole of this detachment, simply for the reason of your command phase, 1 tech priest model from your army and 1 objective marker within 24 inches that is not your acquisition objective marker.
Okay.
Until the start of your next command phase, that objective marker is also considered to be your acquisition objective marker for all rules purposes. So what that means is that you've now got, so the fact it says for all rules purposes is really key here. So it's not just the reroll 1s to wound.
Yeah.
To trigger your +1 to hit or your 4+ invulnerable save, to trigger a lot of these stratagems. I think this is probably the most one you'll use all the time.
You probably want to be saving 1 CP in the bank every single turn for this. And
but you'll get it at the start of your command phase.
Well, it's just in case you wanted to use one of the other strats.
Yeah, of course.
And I think that comes in then clutch as well with the enhancement to be getting it on a 4+ on your objective, right?
Yeah. Well, no, so you don't have to, it's not a dice roll, you just pick.
Oh, you just pick?
Yeah. I think more what you mean, the 4+ to get a command point.
Yeah, to get a command point, yeah.
Yeah, so you could go, okay, I've picked my acquisition, I'll pick another one.
Yeah.
And then, okay, now I'm on that 4+, I can get that.
Yeah.
So, I really like that. I think it's super, super good. And it's probably the best stratagem for your utility.
Hands down.
And then finally, we've got Reactive Safeguard. Your opponent's charge phase, just after an enemy unit has declared a charge, 1 Adeptus Mechanicus infantry unit from your army that's within range of your acquisition objective marker that was selected as a target of a charge, and 1 friendly Adeptus Mechanicus transport. Your unit can embark on the transport. Every model in your unit must be within 3 inches of that transport, and there must be sufficient transport capacity to embark. That's the restrictions.
So this is
this
two stratagems here then that work with transports, right?
Yeah. So because the theme of this detachment is like your sort of cavalry, this is the people that sort of go out on the exploration, and they try and find all these sort of relics in that. Overall, I think it's a good strat.
Yep.
Because again, you could use this double whammy. Corpus Scarpi Electro Priest get out, do their thing, and then they can get back in.
Yep.
But overall, I don't know how often you'll be using this. However, the utility that you get from the rest of the detachment, I think it's okay that this is.
It could help. Great. So we've seen it with the Space Marine Codex, with the Firestorm Assault Force.
Yeah.
Mike himself has demonstrated how well you can work with transports.
Yeah.
So I think that this could come in clutch with certain, but you'd have to build into it. So I think if you're going with this, you need to make sure you're taking them transports and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do agree. It's just the only thing is there's a lot of caveats here. So that unit has to be on your acquisition objective marker, and then the transport has to be there.
Yeah.
For me personally, I would still take this detachment and not worry too much about having transport.
It's one less stratagem to worry about.
Yeah. I think I think it's one of these things where it's like really great if it's all set up and you need to do it, but it's not. you're not relying on it.
No,
like
not at
the
all.
more strats you'd probably be looking at are your sticky, your +1 to wound, and your ability to pick another objective.
Yeah.
So those are the stratagems.
Yeah.
And overall, I think they're pretty solid. I really like this detachment. I think it's got a whole bunch of play with the rule, the fact that it affects every unit in the detachment as well. You're not limited because this is more like you're picking areas.
Yeah, sure.
I think it's got some really interesting sort of mechanics. It's got a bit of everything really, and that's what I think makes a good detachment. Time will tell if this does turn out to be one of the better ones, but so far this is definitely my favourite.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I agree. I think there's a lot of play to be had with this one. I do like it's quite unique in the fact that you're playing off objectives. And I like that because it's kind of like looking at the board and going, I want to be here, I want to be here. There's a lot of cool plays that can be had with this detachment.
Yeah, it allows you to step back and go, okay, well, I can pick my home field, and then 1 CP, I'll pick the midfield, and then I've got a bit of play there. Do I get my CP? Yes, I do. Okay, I've got a bit more to play with now. Yeah, I just think overall this is
well, at
very
the end of the
nice
day, your opponent has to go onto objectives.
Yeah.
So you're always going to be getting your rule offensively and defensively because you're going to be wanting to play around them objectives.
And now for a word from our sponsor, C Studios. They are the experts in providing professional miniature painting services, ensuring your armies always look their best on the battlefield. Whether you're a seasoned veteran or just starting out, C Studios can help bring your miniatures to life. Don't miss out on their quality craftsmanship.
What's your top units for this, you reckon?
Again, like I've stated in all of these, the breaches are absolutely fantastic in this detachment.
Yeah.
They get a load of benefits. But if we were to look
at one of these guys, right?
Yeah, with the Tech Priest Dominus in one, I'd give a Manipulus to the other.
Yeah.
Give the Tech Priest Dominus the 4 invulnerable save, give the Manipulus the +1 a hit.
Yeah.
But more sort of generally, the Chicken Walkers, the Dragoons, the Iron Strider Ballistari, they're really good. You know, you can play very offensively with the Suconian Dragoons to run and, not run and charge, but do a big move up, taser lance something, and then use the 6-inch consolidate strat.
Yeah, sure.
I think Corpus Scarp, Electro Priest, and Dune Striders as well were really nice. Again, just the ability to jump out, do the damage, and then if they need to, hop back in. And yeah, like even the Ruststalkers, big unit of Ruststalkers get a load of attacks, and the fact they can, hit on, get the reroll 1s to wound is nice. But yeah, I think that's for me more the standout picks. So
nice, I like it.
Just things that really will benefit from having that reroll 1s to wound, which you may say is everything, but sometimes it may not be
things
the
are quite
case.
independent on their data sheets, whereas other things need the boost from an independent rule such as this.
Yeah, exactly that.
So yeah, no, I really like it, mate. And obviously, guys at home, if you obviously excited for this, put it in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. And yeah, we'll see you in the next detachment video very soon.